Naomi, after there has been an admission for a young person, did you want to talk us through the support that Nexus Education provides? And really, I suppose, an overview of the team and what you do.
Okay. Yeah, so we are a small education team that are sat on the unit. We work with the young people and the clinical team quite closely. I guess we offer a couple of different services to the young people while they're on the ward. Sometimes they're quite academic focused and they need a break from school, and we're able to connect them with their learning while they're on the unit. Others maybe have been disengaged for quite a while, so we're looking to give them some high interest activities to re-engage them with their learning and maybe look at some alternate pathways that they can follow when they are discharged. There are also the kids who are in a school setting, quite settled, and our main role is really just communicating and liaising with their school throughout their admission. And I think the communication side of it is probably the most vital, because we're trying to get that rapport with school and the relationship going so we can gain as much information about this young person, because the majority of their life is social and it is school based. And the majority of the time, the reasons they have ended up in Nexus can be based around school anxieties. So one of the things, when the young person is admitted, part of their paperwork on admission involves a school form, and that's really a sharing of information and consent to release information form. And once we have that filled out by the parent or carer, we're then able to start liaising with school. And with the school link booklet, we can get in touch straight away with principals and senior psychologists in education. And we can really start that communication happening with their school straight away. A big part of that is the admission email asks the principal to distribute the admission email to all key team members who work with that young person. So hopefully straight away we've got on board school counsellors, we've got on those people of importance to that young person that Sue was talking about earlier, possibly a Aboriginal liaison officer or just a favourite teacher. And what we're asking for them is to fill out a wellbeing form, like April was talking about for the CAMS form, to give us a really full picture of that young person. What the form will ask for is details around attendance percentages, if there's any social conflicts that the clinical team might need to know, strengths within the school setting and outside, if there's any testing or counsellor interventions that have happened in the past, because that can really shed a lot of light on if they've accessed therapy in the past. And that form goes straight to the clinical team, and that's really what helps us start formulating treatment plans in meetings such as ISBARs, family meetings, and the weekly clinical reviews.
So when a young person comes to Nexus, the process is the parents sign a consent form, which allows you to share information with the school. You then get in touch with the school via the principal, the senior psychologist, or the school counsellor if it's not a Department of Education school, and you let them know there's been an admission, and you ask them for some information from the school setting, a bit like what we talked about with the CL handover team and Simeon describing how important that contextual information is. And then you've got that and you can share that with the medical team who are deciding on what treatment is going to look like for this young person. So that information from the school is really important and helpful in determining what this admission is going to look like and what the treatment goals are.
It really does provide a big piece of the puzzle. And then from that point on, depending on the length of admission, which we have talked about, is how involved we can really get. Regardless, we do try to communicate with school throughout the admission. We let them know about if there's any leave coming up for the young person. We work on return to school plans, which is really a student voice in what's happening for them in that school setting. It breaks down triggers and strategies that they can use to cope when those times do eventuate. And from collecting that information, we can then, if we have the opportunity, run stakeholder meetings with schools and with the clinical team and really communicate the needs of that young person back to the school before they're discharged.
Let's think about Naomi during the school holidays. So if a young person is admitted to Nexus, the Nexus ward during the school holidays when the Nexus Education team aren't there, how does Nexus Education follow up on that?
So we have a really good rapport with the clinical team and the administration team at Nexus, and they take over a lot of that paperwork collection for us. So when we return during the school term, we can let those schools know as soon as possible if there has been an admission over the holidays. And we send out a very concise email with as much information as we possibly can about what occurred during the admission, if there was any return to school plans completed, and pretty much all the time they will have a TAR3 calming and support plan which would have been put together while on the unit, and that will really give schools a lot of information on how to help support and manage their young people when they get back after that holiday break. It also offers that support that if they want to give us a call, they're able to at any time after that email is received.